You gave up a TV job to start a podcast in your basement. If that doesn't scream midlife crisis, I don't know what does.
It was Championship Sunday here in Indianapolis. What's the mindset then coming in as a defending champion?
I want to win. No, I want to win.
The young lady over my shoulder, Caitlin Clark.
Not the best looking guy. And I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say, Matt Randazzo was really good looking.
What has this last month, 2 months, 3 months been like for you? It's an important fan base for the Fighting Illini, is it not?
It is.
He turned 69 years young last week. He looked good, Coach.
Oh, try it. Thank you.
Welcome to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. TGIF. Happy Friday. It is Friday, June 6th. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you're watching us live on YouTube, thank you. Up over 1,100 subscribers. We love that. Let's keep that rolling. So if you have subscribed, thank you. If you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do so ASAP. We also live on X and on all the podcasting platforms as well. So after the show gets over, coming up this afternoon by noon, this thing is up over all your podcasting platforms. So check out the show via the podcasting platform if you need to today, and then also check out the shows throughout the week as well. I kind of chuckled at the beginning because this is the 5-month anniversary of when the show started. But the problem is all week I've been talking about how today was the 6-month anniversary, and I literally just realized it probably like 15 minutes ago. I even had to call my sister and be like, hey, do the math with me here. If we started on January 6th and it's June 6th, where am I at? And she's like, 5 months. I'm like, yeah, not 6. So we recorded our interview with Pat Anger that's coming up in just a minute, which is our inaugural, not first annual, as Pat's trying to tell me on social media right now, our inaugural joke swap. We did that yesterday afternoon, and we talk about it being 6 months and the show being up for 6 months. Ignore the 6 months part. Just focus on 5 months. Same thing. 5 months, 6 months, same thing. So that's coming up in just a second. Pat and I did what they do on Saturday Night Live. We dummied it down. We were supposed to be nice to each other. We had a mediator to making sure we didn't cancel each other. Tom Caker did that, but that's coming up. Pat Anger himself coming up in just a matter of moments. Also on today's show, congratulations to the Assumption Girls soccer team. They are in Des Moines doing well as always. They won in the semifinals yesterday. They knocked off Bishop Heelan, so they'll play for a state championship coming up tomorrow morning, I believe at 10 a.m. against Denver. But some of the Assumption girls soccer team will join us later here in hour number 1, probably around 10:30, 10:35. And then we'll wrap up the show and this week by talking in studio with my good friend Don Umland. Don, a local referee and umpire around the area. Actually, he's the D3 national coordinator of umpires. So he just got back from the D3 national tournament for baseball. We'll talk to him a little bit about that. But mainly we're going to talk about Money in the Bank. Wrestling pay-per-view coming up this weekend. We'll preview Money in the Bank. So coming up at 11 o'clock, if you're a wrestling fan, this is where you want to be. If you're not a wrestling fan, you've been warned. So that'll be a lot of fun to catch up with. And then we'll all head into the weekend and hopefully enjoy a big weekend for everyone out there in the Quad Cities. We mentioned some of the shows this week. If you missed it yesterday, really excited to have Taylor Panel on, former Rock Island softball standout, current star down at Tennessee, the Volunteers making the World Series. So we caught up with Taylor yesterday. You can check out that interview. Also, Tom Cornelis was in the house for Throwback Thursday, but it doesn't have to be a Throwback Thursday with Tom Cornelis. It was great to catch up with TC. So check out that interview. A Quad City sportscasting legend, 44 years doing it between WQAD and, of course, the vast majority of it, in my mind, because that's who I grew up watching over at KWQC. So, and also, we wish Sterling Newman baseball team the best of luck. They play in the state semifinals tonight. We were joined by Kenny Corner, their head coach, yesterday as well. So throughout the week as well, we've had Sydney Folter, Mara Downing, Nicholas Patrick, a ton of great guests. So go check out the shows Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. There was no show on Monday, but throughout the weekend, if you're bored, go check out Off the Air. It was a fun week once again here on the show. But we start a Friday edition of Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. And again, a 5-month anniversary show, not a 6-month anniversary show, with the one and only Pat Anger. And joining me now for probably what would you guess, 20th time?
And the last time.
And maybe the last is our good friend Pat Anger. And we've waited the entire week to see you. People want you on Mondays. They love you on Mondays. It gets their week off to a good start. And here we are on Friday. But what a better way to get into the weekend than to see Pat Anger's smiling face?
Man, it's great to see you. You look really good. I'm excited to be on here. I know you ditched me on Monday for a bunch of skinny golf nerds, but at least you brought me in today.
I golfed with Wheezy, so you just called him a skinny golf nerd, which is music to Wheezy's ear. Probably the nicest things that you've ever said to him. He is.
Wheezy's
All
the
right,
best.
Before we get rolling on what we're going to do this joke swap. You got your paper? You got your envelope?
I honestly, I was really looking forward to this when we were talking about it, and now I'm kind of nervous.
Yeah. Well, I don't
have anything bad on there for you to say. That's all I'm saying.
That's
I'm going to sleep good tonight knowing that I took care of you.
I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about me. Think about this. If somebody told anybody in Iowa, hey, I'm going to make you read live on air something that Pat Anger wrote for you, it's the worst idea anybody's ever come up with ever. Like, it's going to be awful. Tom Caker did go through them. He nixed 2 of mine and 1 of yours.
Yeah.
Which is
Tom's
disappointing.
An honest, fair man.
He is.
I'm more honest and kind than you because I only had one taken out. You had 2.
One I sent to the group and he nixed it again. But like, obviously it couldn't be said. I knew that. It was just more for comic relief in the text group than anything else. But before we get going on this, do you know that like it's been 6 months? This show has been on for 6 freaking months. Not that that's a huge deal, but anybody who had the over-under set at like 3 months, tough. We did it.
It's crazy that it's been 6 months since your wife left you.
Yeah.
I thought it seems like it was just yesterday.
She doesn't even miss me. What did I say to her to the end of the day?
Man,
go ahead.
No, you're doing a good job. And I don't know how because you're Monday through Friday. Like that's tough to do. And I know you've done really well filming these shows. And you had mentioned before, like, it's funny when you were on news, you would have to kind of call and beg people to come on. And now people are calling you and asking to come on, like, which just shows how awesome you're doing.
I don't know if I used to call and beg you to do stuff and you'd ignore my phone calls, but like, I don't know if I don't know if they come to me wanting to be on, but if you have, no, but it's funny. You mentioned my lovely wife. I reference all the time that like, she doesn't watch, like just all the time on the air. And I guess one day she was watching. And so she texted me right away. She's like, by the way, I am watching. And I wanted to be like, well, that's like the 17th time I've referenced that. And this is the first time you've actually reached out. So no, she doesn't watch. Say,
stop texting me and get to work.
Yeah, there's a reason why I'm unemployed in my loft. It's that you can go to work, like, right? This is the whole thing. So, no, it's been fun, and like I'm excited for the fall. I think the fall is the fall and winter are the fun times of year when it comes to like these type of shows, because we saw it when we started in January, or when I started in January, because like a lot of people, weather-wise, you're inside. You're looking for something to do, and plus football season's a ton of fun. Haven't done one of those yet, so that'll be a lot of fun too. So no, I'm shocked that this thing is still going, and maybe here in a couple minutes it won't be going anymore. So I think it's a good litmus test to figure if we should continue this or not. So, before we get into this, what are the rules? Are we going every other one, like they do on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, I think that's fine. Rock, paper, scissors. Who goes first?
Ooh, good call. Okay, ready?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yes.
Rock,
of
paper,
course.
scissors, shoot.
Who does it different?
Am I delayed? I might be delayed.
No, you're good.
All right, here we go.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Paper, scissors, shoot.
This is
Wait,
so
we're
weird.
totally delayed.
Okay, it's
We're
okay.
totally delayed.
I'm
All
going
right,
to
I'll
go on
first.
you. I'm going to go. All right.
I'll go first.
All
I
right.
don't care.
One at a time. All right. One at a time. I think they're on different sheets. And I did not look at these. You did not look at these. Tom Kakert is the only one that's looked at these. I feel like there should be a check in here. All right. I'm not even going to look at one yet. You're up. There's 3. So just read one.
Cake Stadium was awesome last season, and I loved watching the Hawkeyes thrive and succeed. When things didn't go well, there were times I wanted to look. That doesn't make sense. There's a typo.
What?
I wanted to look the other way, but unfortunately, with this lazy eye, that's easier said than done. That's good. That's a PG joke. I appreciate that.
It's just a little poke at the old lazy eye, because it would have been better if you would have taken the sunglasses off before you read the joke, so people could see it. Hey, it's working hard today.
It is. I don't know what's going on here, man.
Look at that. All right. Okay. Before I start the jokes, I want to tell everyone that I enjoyed my time on the news, and I did not believe, because of how absolutely terrible some of the people over there became. The new podcast they started to get hip and compete with me is not lame. Is not lame at all either. See, that's really good. All right. I guess there's more. You're going to kill me with this. Okay. With that being said, I have some breaking news here on Off the Air. I'm publicly announcing that I'm an Illini fan. I know it's tough for some people to hear. It's just that I relate with the Illini the most, because just like my career, they will never see success. You're already winning. That's really good. So they're doing another podcast over on where I used to work. I didn't know.
Apparently.
I didn't know.
Apparently.
Well, now people know about it. Damn it. All right. Go at it.
right.
Number 2.
After decades of debate and years of investigation, Iowa State University is now credited for inventing the toothbrush. Scientists admit that determining that the determining factor was its name. If it was invented anywhere else, it would have been called the teeth brush. Oh, that's a cute one.
Cute. See, there's nothing wrong with these. It's just the voice of Iowa athletics poking a little fun at little brother.
Yeah.
Right? It's just a little one of those.
Yeah.
Nothing bad.
Yeah, a little poke.
Nothing bad. When you started reading that, I thought she accidentally printed out one of the ones that got nixed. I almost started yelling, stop. This is fun. I think this is going well.
Yeah. This is great.
Oh, no. All right. The Guy Randazzo Memorial Golf Outing is June 14th and is an amazing event. It's the only time, other than my impending divorce, that my name is associated with something people actually look forward to. There you go. because my wife is gonna leave me, which obviously she's gonna like that joke. She's gonna like that joke a lot. That's really well done. Boy, when I started reading that, Pat, I thought you were gonna make fun of my dead dad. I really thought.
No.
Okay.
Would
Next
never
time.
do that.
Next time. There's always next. See, you do this a little bit, and then you kind of here. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Keep going.
In my first season in the Iowa radio booth, Nebraska, Iowa State, and Illinois all won bowl games.
Ooh.
I'm not superstitious, but that would have never happened under Ed Podolak's watch. You spelled Podolak wrong, but it's okay. But then again, both of Ed's eyes worked, which is a huge advantage over me.
Because of the watch.
Said Podolak's. I like that. That's a good one. That's just good, clean fun.
It's 2 at your eyes, which isn't very nice. But I didn't even make fun of your weight problem.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It's coming.
Oh boy, look, it's a book. Like mine are short and sweet. You know I can't read. All right. George Wendt, who played the iconic Norm from Cheers, passed away recently. He was one of my favorite characters. One of his other roles was that of the Chicago Bears superfan on Saturday Night Live. The Bears, the Bears, the Bears. It was a fun skit. As you know, I'm a Lions fan, but I am also obsessed with the Bears. It's like the Iowa State fan who says he loves the Cyclones, but is happier when Iowa loses. Everything with the Lions becoming good, my favorite topic to obsess about is the Bears, the Bears, the Bears. Make it stop. The Bears, the Bears. Do I have to read? I'm a good Catholic. I'm a good Catholic with massive ears. I hear everything and I still feel bad about all of it. So yes, I'll probably confess this monologue on Sunday. Of course I will. You don't go to confession on Sunday. You do it on a different day.
I don't know how it works.
That was good.
Tommy helped me out with the Bears one.
Yeah,
he said you would hate that one.
That was basically him. I could hear him in writing it and all that kind of stuff. So you know what? I think that was a good first step. But
yeah, the problem is it's going to get bad if we continue.
But I think we need to because I think it can go a little farther.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I'm out of
okay.
good jokes.
No, you got plenty of good jokes. You just got to figure out which ones to do. We got to figure out which ones to do as well. So, what's your weekend entail?
I've got one kid in Des Moines, one kid in Muscatine, and Avery, I think, has soccer one of the days.
Oh.
I don't know. But I think Mary's going to go to Des Moines. What do you got going on?
Is that Muscatine one? That's probably one that's got a huge Saturdays. Like, Saturday and Sunday games are big. Saturdays are huge. So make sure you guys do well in Saturday games.
Yes, you can win a tournament on a Saturday.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
So, right, here we go. This is going to be probably better than the jokes went. But my wife is in Kansas City right now. I'm just leaving that open for you to say whatever you want to say.
No.
You can pass?
Yeah, I'm going to pass on that. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah. So she's in Kansas City till like Saturday night or Sunday. So we've been rolling solo since Wednesday. I only have one kid tournament this weekend. Isn't that great? I thought I had two. And then I got a text message on Thursday. I had to text somebody and I was like, hey, when is Carson's schedule coming out? And they're like, no, you don't have anything left. Like we're good. So yeah. And like the games aren't bad. Like they got 3 games. One's tonight at like 1 o'clock or 1:30 in the afternoon. And then I got like 9:40 and 11:30 on Saturday. So I'm going to watch wrestling this weekend.
Oh, that's great.
Money in the Bank.
What's the show?
Money in the Bank.
Oh man. MITB, baby. Money in the Bank.
Those are some of my favorites.
Money in the Bank's awesome.
Yeah. No, like
Maryland,
those are some of my
Big E won Money in the Bank.
Oh, I miss Big E. I
He's
do.
Great.
So how's the golf game? I want to talk to you about that before I let you go. How is the golf game? We are, like next Friday at this time, I'm going to be pretending to work really hard, but on the golf course, getting a getting a round in ahead of time. And we were worried that you were going to completely ditch, like Joe Conklin and I have been talking on the side. But you might be a little late. You can be a little late, but you can still be there.
I'll be late, but I will be there ready to go. I'm going to golf on Wednesday of next week, so then I will kind of have a good gauge of kind of where I'm at and what the amount of beers I need to get going. So that'll be. I'm looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to golf with you guys, man. That's the best. I'm looking forward to the chips. You guys are going to get to the chips probably before I get there for the first time, but we'll make sure. We'll make sure we get some chips. Well, after 2 or after 3, we end up going to the chips before that par 3.
But you'll be there by 7, I think, when you're supposed to get the chips.
Yeah.
Like ish. You got to remember, like you're trying to figure out when you're going to be there. And God bless you for still going. And you have a great excuse for being late, which I didn't believe because you're a horrible human being, but it's true. And
you didn't believe that.
I didn't. Pat's aunts passed away, and so and he texted me. He's like, "Hey, this is what happened." I'm like, "That's awful. I feel terrible for you." But if you're lying, you're a horrible human being. And you're like, "No, I'm good." But I think by the time I get done talking,
she lived a tough life.
Yeah,
she lived a good one. She was a good one, had a hard life, and really cared about people, and it'd be nice to be able to honor her.
Yeah, so I'm like, no, go do if you can't make it at all. But you're being an all-star by coming out and doing it again. But by the time I get done talking, you know me, like I get up there and then I start talking. It starts to start at 1. Everybody gets mad because it's like 1:20 before we get out there rolling and all that kind of stuff. So no, it should be good. 36 teams signed up as we speak, which is outstanding. That's as full can be. Sometimes those tournaments, like it takes forever to get through a round, but we got enough fun stuff out there that I don't think. Have you ever been out there and been like, my God, why are we waiting? I mean, I don't think we had one year where the Illinois football team was running a little slow. Is that right?
Yeah, Jake was pretty upset with that, and it was that 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago. The year that we won the whole thing. It was the greatest year of all time.
And it was like, Jake, like, hey man, like you're still in shape, dude. Like we're not. Like we'll help you, but like it won't be too much help. Pat, so like you're in this, you're all on your own here, man.
Just so you know, I don't think I could. Even if I was in shape, I don't think I'm gonna be much help. I know that's weird to believe. Right. I know you're like, what, Dazzo? You're a badass. Like I've heard all the stories of you kicking ass, but like I've never done that.
All of them.
I've never. Have you ever golfed in a best ball outing and been yelled at by another teammate? That you really didn't know very well? Okay, let me tell you what happened. This wasn't recently. This was in the past. But I golfed in an outing one time. Didn't really know who I was golfing with. It was one of those like, hey, Dazzo, you're a huge celebrity. Can you grace us with your presence and show up? And I'm like, yeah, I'll be there. So I was, when you're lining up for a putt. Let's say we got a 20-foot putt and we miss it. And I went over and I tapped my ball in. And I got scolded. Have you ever heard of that before?
Never heard of that before. Man.
Per rules, if you put the ball in, the hole's closed and done.
Yes. But
I just said, hey, we're in for 4. And then you guys try. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, if you're feeling hot, man, if you're ready to put it in the hole, put it in the hole.
No, not this guy. No, here come the jokes. Not this guy. This guy was furious because he said, once I tapped it in, we're done. Nobody else got their chance to make the putt. So we don't usually ever have to take another shot at it because usually we're making it.
And we got string and gimmies and all that crap,
No, there's no strings.
We don't. Well, I'll bring some string.
I don't think gimmies are a thing. Like, I don't think that's actually what they do, but, We'll kind of see.
It's 2-putt max. It's all gimmies.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with all that kind of stuff as well. I'm trying to think if I got anything else before we let you go.
What's going on with the NBA? What are the Pacers going to do it?
Wow.
Is my man Halliburton going to continue to just be a killer?
I love how you just randomly bring up the NBA. One, Indeed. Are you an Indianapolis guy? Like still? Like are you a Pacers guy
when they're good, I'm all in, and I had 2 kids born there. So yeah, it was the first place I worked. My first job was in Indiana. So
okay. So I
like to support them.
I think I think OKC wins the series.
Oh, okay.
Do you like Halliburton? Because you're not supposed to like him because he's a Cyclone. You're supposed to hate everything that is Iowa State.
No, he doesn't play for Iowa State anymore, and I don't mind Iowa State. Like honestly, Ames is fine with me because when I go to Ames, I'm skinny, I'm good looking, and I'm smart. It's the only place in America where I'm skinny and I'm good looking and I'm smart. So I don't mind Ames. They kind of think they're all right, but he doesn't play for Iowa State anymore. He's a pacer. Now, did we talk about Jim Irsay passing? Did we talk about that?
No, and I
know that
didn't
we
want to
haven't-
talk to you about that. You've been avoiding me since, but
Yeah.
I know I know I've heard so many good things, and I'll let you speak on them. But like, I remember going out to Indy that year to cover your rookie year in your first training camp. And we got out there and we were told we could shoot the practice and everything. And I remember we got there and everyone was like, no, you can't because Irsay's mad at everybody. And when he gets mad at the media, he takes it out on you. So I didn't overly love the guy since then, but I've heard so many amazing things about that dude.
Yeah, Jim is a very, very loyal guy, extremely loyal and genuine and true. And he had his struggles, and he had his struggles. Unfortunately, they're very public, but he didn't shy away from it. And I mean, I saw multiple people in Indy that had addiction problems that were employees of the Colts. And instead of firing them, instead of throwing them under the bus, he paid for them to go to rehab, got them right, got them healthy, and kept their job when they got back. Like that's unreal. That's a phenomenal human being. And the amount of money, I mean, gosh, you're probably looking at close to $100 million that he handed out to probably save people's lives and help people out in the Indianapolis area and in Indiana in general. And Indiana lost a really good man and a good human and somebody that just was that just loved people and was there to help. And he had a lot of money and he was very, very successful with what he did. And but he knew that too. And it's almost like he was trying to just give it all back. And his legacy will definitely live on. And those of us that were lucky enough to play with him, lucky enough to know him, we love the guy. So it was a big loss for America in general and just good humans.
When's the last time did you guys stay in touch? Or when's the last time you spoke with him? When he fired you?
Oh, probably a couple of years. No, he didn't fire. Well, no, he didn't fire me. The GM fired me. The GM was pretty nice about it. And I get at that point, I had no business playing. But probably a couple of years after I got done. And, I remember when my niece had leukemia and his daughters were very involved with the Colts. And when my niece had leukemia, they're like, hey, what can we do? We're having a fundraiser. We didn't know how to do that. They're like, what can we do? They got like a Peyton Manning signed jersey and just I want to say maybe Super Bowl tickets. Maybe that was were our Super Bowl tickets, but they're a really good family and they care about the community. They care about people. And it was a really good place to play. And I've talked to some people that were closer to him, that were on staff that were closer to him than I was. And, they're definitely very hurt from it. It's definitely will leave a huge hole in Indianapolis and in the Colts organization. But he's got amazing daughters, and they're going to come together and continue to go strong.
Yeah, no, and it would be cool to see. It hasn't been great years of late for the Colts, but it'd be cool for them to have a good year. You know what I mean? To kind of put things together and win and have a good season. Maybe play the Lions in the Super Bowl. That'd be cool.
That'd be great.
I was going to ask you too about the John Deere Classic. Did you see that they re-upped till 2023 or 2030? Excuse me, 2030.
That's awesome. Heck yeah, that says a lot about our community. It says a lot about Lehman, who's running that thing. Like that's a really cool deal, and it brings a lot of good. Just brings a lot of good people in our community, and then also with the concert stuff and all that. Like they're doing so much, and they're growing it, and they're evolving, and it's special to have that in our small little Quad City area.
Do you know the concerts this year?
I know Zach Brown. Brown's coming.
Dierks Bentley on Saturday, and then Zach Brown on Sunday. That's pretty cool.
I remember we went to a Zach Brown concert and I was playing, and we ended up going backstage and hanging out in their bus for a little bit, and got to meet all the guys. And yeah, they were cool dudes.
I was gonna say, I bet that was kind of fun.
Yeah, the worst thing is Zach Brown came up and I was like, hey, it's my wife, Mary. He's like, how you doing, darling? And then like instantly she fell in love with him. It's like all you got to have an accent and say, call some girl darling, and you can get whatever you. It's just like, come on, man. That's not even fair.
Who was the
I'll
country?
beat you up.
Who was the country act that you used to look like, or your wife used to think you look like, and she was right for a minute? Do you know who I'm talking
got
about?
a little thick. God, I can't think of the guy's name.
Bottoms up.
Brantley.
He's saying,
Brantley Gilbert.
yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
if you do anymore, but I remember when I
No.
heard that and I was like, yeah, I can see that. And then you've let yourself go.
Yeah, man.
Wha-
Yeah.
so
but
my
I think with
question
enough
is-
testosterone replacement therapy, I can get back.
I think you can. My question is, why does, last year Keegan Murray golfed in the Pro-Am, former Hawkeye. Year before that, Caitlin Clark, former Hawkeye. This year, Riley Moss and TJ Hawkinson, former Hawkeyes. You're right here. Like, you're in the Quad Cities. You're the voice of Iowa football.
I'm not the voice, but I think they're just like, hey, what kind of pretty boys can we get out here that can play golf? And I mean, Happy Gilmore was the most popular golfer in the world at one point, probably still is. And I could bring that back. I'm the Happy Gilmore of this generation.
I don't know why. I mean, but if they don't want you, we'll take you at the Guy Randazzo. Like, right?
Yeah, and honestly, I could make more money at the Guy Randazzo.
If I got concerts, do you think I could compete with the JDC?
Yes,
I
I
might
thought you
get-
already did compete with the Jays.
I might get the Nadas. Have you ever heard the Nadas?
No, but they sound good. Sound
No,
awesome.
I'm going to send them to you. They're amazing. They're amazing. But anyways, we're just drifting off into nothing. So, all right, buddy. Well, I think that went well. I really do. I think your jokes are better. Would you say you won?
Yeah, I'll definitely. Yep.
Okay, so you won that. We'll still play horse. I'll win that, and we'll do a joke swap again.
That's never gonna happen.
You keep,
Keep
dodging
ducking
me.
man. No,
Every
dude, I'll
time I
play right
ask
now in
you.
the parking lot.
All right, I'll meet you. Let's go to PepsiCo. I'll meet you there.
I can't. I gotta work.
I do. I know you do. Hey, I appreciate it, my friend. I'm happy. Thanks for helping me get to 6 months and not getting me canceled and making people watch
I'm
every
happy.
Monday.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
the only
happy you
reason
made
they
it,
watch.
man. You're doing good. You're doing good things, dude. You are the face of the Quad City
Oh,
media.
God.
You
It's
are
an
phenomenal.
one, I'm not. And two, that's an ugly ass face if that's the case. So, all right, pal. I appreciate you. And we'll see you next week at the outing. We'll do something
wait.
next week.
I love you.
We'll be here. All right. See you, pal.
All right, love you, buddy.
All right. That is the one and only Pat Anger. The joke swap officially in the books. I thought it was good. Like, I thought it was just right. It wasn't too mean. But it's a start as we continue to go down the road. I want to do it again because I have ideas. So that is the one and only Pat Anger. And thank God, as I always say, there's only one Pat Anger. So we got more to get to. You're watching a Friday edition of Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. We will be right back. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Yeah, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss prearrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfather's is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with.
Saturday night, June 14th, the Steamwheelers face off against the Parade in an IFL battle that's going to rock the vibrant arena. And it's Digital Bobblehead Night, presented by XUSD Blockchain. All fans in attendance with an active MetaMask digital wallet will score a limited edition Steamwheelers NFT bobblehead. A one-of-a-kind collectible you can't get anywhere else. High-flying IFL action and digital collectibles? Now that's next-level game night. Grab your tickets now at steamwheelersfootball.com/tickets.
The PGA Tour swings into the Quad Cities again this summer, and you don't want to miss it. The John Deere Classic brings golf, music, magic, and more to TPC Deer Run, July 2nd through the 6th. Wednesday, July 2nd is Youth Day, and ages 15 and under are free all week, making it perfect for the whole family. Stick around after the golf on the weekend for the concerts on the Course Series, featuring country superstar Dierks Bentley on Saturday, and Grammy Award-winning Zac Brown Band on Sunday. Come for the golf, stay for the party. Visit JohnDeereClassic.com to get your tickets before they sell out.
Hey guys, this is former Hawkeye Jake Gervais inviting you to the 5th annual Rally for Reed football camp.
Go, run, run, run.
This year's 5th annual Rally for Reed football camp will take place on Friday, June 27th at Jack and Pat Bush Stadium at Davenport Assumption High School. Come learn the game of football from several familiar faces.
1, 2, 3, go, Taco!
All while honoring the life and legacy of Reed Gleason and also raising money for the Rally for Reed Foundation and the continued fight against pediatric cancer. There will also be a spirit camp the same day hosted at St. Ambrose University. To sign up or get involved, check out rallyforreed.org and make a donation or sign up for the camp. Thanks.
Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. Of course, Rally for Reed coming up 3 weeks from today. So do yourself a favor, do us a favor, get your kids signed up for Rally for Reed camp. Go to rallyforreed.org. All the money raised goes to help children battling cancer, and also it celebrates the memory of Reed Gleason. So Jake Gervais, one of the best in the business, and gets a lot of former Hawkeyes to come back. It's a great event. So 3 weeks from today, make sure you get your kids signed up as soon as possible. Well, speaking of Assumption, it's a good time of year. Usually is a good time of year for the Assumption soccer program. The Lady Knights at state right now, and they're ready to play for a state championship coming up tomorrow in Des Moines. And we're really super excited about that. They knocked off Bishop Heelan, yesterday in the state semifinals. 1-0 was the final on that one. I am putting in the correct super before we are joined by these lovely ladies right here. We're joined now by a trio of Assumption Knights. Ladies, thank you guys for doing this. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Coach, I love technology. You nailed it. I don't know if it was me messing it up or you, but well done. Who do you have with you right now?
We have Drew Dorsey and Heather Jondal.
Awesome. Well, first and foremost, thank you guys for taking time out of your busy weekend. Are you guys still I'm assuming up in Des Moines right now, correct?
Yes. We're at Ames, yeah.
Awesome. Well, Coach, I'll start with you. Obviously, it's been a fantastic season, and success with Assumption soccer kind of go hand in hand, but every team is different, every group is different. How proud are you of these young ladies right now?
Yeah, this group has come a long way, the way they've evolved throughout this season in particular. I mean, my gosh, to come into this tournament and really just dialed in and locked in, ready to go. It's one of the best tournament performances we've seen in some time. So I'm really proud of the way that they've come prepared.
Ladies, you're smiling. Drew, I'll start with you because Yesterday was a 1-0 victory. You had the goal, and it wasn't just any goal. Rumor has it was career goal number 100. Obviously, it's a big one for your career, but talk about the game first, because that's the only goal of the game. It had to be a special day for you yesterday in the semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, it was great to, have my 100th and, a great game, semifinals of state. But, I think our defense, pretty much the whole game, we would not have won without them. And I think we did well on offense, finishing the opportunities we had. We didn't have very many, but, that's soccer. You got to counter on one, and that makes the game.
Yeah, I heard Coach afterwards talk about, and there's been some years, ladies, I've been up there, and I did this for way too long, and it would be 3-0, 4-0 at halftime, and all those kind of things. But you don't need to score a ton of goals if you have the defense. What is it about this team's defense right now that has you guys playing such good soccer at the right time of the year?
I'm the center defender for Assumption's defense, and I think we all just we really are bonded and we connect really well, and we're not afraid to talk to each other or help each other out, and we really just work well as a team. Even not communicating, we know each other's patterns, we know where we're going, we know who to step, and that kind of thing.
Coach, can you add on to that? Because we do, and what I did for 25 years, you show highlights, you show goals, and I get all that, but I know there's a beauty to defense and soccer, and you can see it from your team right now, I'm sure. They're connected, especially on the defensive end.
Yeah, especially yesterday, you saw, of course, we put a goal in and our offense was really doing well. But for that last 40 minutes, we just gutted it out, and the defense really just held their own. And to be able to be the only team in the on Heelan's schedule to keep them off the scoreboard in the state tournament, that's a statement from our defense. And I'm really proud of the way that they held strong, and, great standout performances from the defense generally. But also, you had Alyssa O'Neill come in and make a game saver there in the corner. So defense did an outstanding job.
Ladies, either one of you guys can answer this one. What's it like being in a game, in a match like that, when it's 1-0 or no score for a long time, and then 1-0 and that's state? That's the biggest stage ever. You have to grow up dreaming of playing in matches like that, don't you?
Yeah, it's definitely just, especially after the first goal, you do take a breath of relief, and you're like, wow, okay, we got this. But then you just gotta stay composed and stay focused and just trust in your training and keep going. And don't let up at all.
That's what you ladies get to do, because you now have a state championship match. Now, when you get done with this nonsense from me and having to deal with all this stuff, how do you prepare today? I'll ask the girls first, and then I'm going to get coaches' thoughts too. But Drew, how do you prepare for tomorrow and mentally, physically, all that kind of stuff when it comes to a state championship?
We're just resting and fueling our bodies, not going to do a lot today, but, stay hydrated. It's obviously hot and stuff, but not as hot as past year. So thankful for that. But yeah, just not doing a lot on our feet, but also, getting our steps in.
There are so many years I spent sweating covering girls state soccer. So yeah, that's not too bad this time of year. Coach, what's the message you want to get to your team today? Not just about tomorrow, but what to expect, how to prepare. What do you want to accomplish today? While they think it's not easy, but a relaxed day or all that kind of stuff, I'm sure you have things that you want to accomplish today in preparing for tomorrow.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is just keeping them on a routine this week. We get up at the same time, we go to bed at the same time, and throwing a little bit of fun in there, keeping them relaxed. We're going to have a nice little talent show tonight, and everybody's going to do some icing or cryo or heating or whatever they need to do. Make sure they're fueling their bodies and recovering. Three games in a short span of time is difficult for anyone. So making sure that they're nice and recovered, and then we'll do some film. And, one of the big keys for our success this season is we put a lot of the responsibility for preparation on the girls, and they've done a great job of owning that and walking us through what their plan is for the day. And I think that's been huge for us, especially in the tournament, for them to take ownership of that and know this is my role and in this position, and this is this position's role, and be able to spell that out for us. I think that really lets it sink in for them.
I love that. We're going to talk. I want to talk to you guys about the seniors in a second, but you mentioned a talent show, and I can't let that slip by, girls. What is the talents that you two, and we'll start with you, Drew. Do you have thoughts? What are the talents that you're planning on putting on display tonight?
I mean, there's just so many to pick from.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's like talents, but it's more just like goofy, like songs you'll put together, like raps, like stuff like that. But I think it's definitely such a fun, like, team bonding experience for like everyone. It's our last time together. You know, it's going to be our last game of the season, and we have a lot of seniors that'll leave. So I think it's definitely like super fun to kind of take the nerves off tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I know the answer to this, but any chance you could give me a preview, either one of you?
Oh, no, it's top secret.
No, I completely understand. Girls, I want to stay with you for a second because are you both seniors?
Yes.
And I watched one of the news stations. I'll say WQAD because I was there for so long. I'll give them the love. But what did you mention? I think it was Drew that like you guys knew that this is one of the senior classes that maybe haven't won a state championship. If that's what was, is that something you guys think about? And I joke a little bit, but I'm being serious. There's so many. It was when we got ready for the spring season for I'm talking 15 years, whatever it is now. It was like, okay, how are we going to plan on covering Assumption State soccer? Because that's what a thing is. Is that something that motivates you guys a little bit, knowing that you haven't gotten that state championship yet?
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's a really talented program. So I think, you know, a lot of people doubted us after, you know, different classes went through and graduated. So I think that's also something like we're working towards is, you know, like proving people wrong. You know, we haven't won in 3 years, which is probably the most in a decade or so. So, I mean, yeah, definitely something we're looking forward to capping the year off this year. And, you know, yeah.
Yeah. Our class, our freshman year class, when we were freshmen, we were the year to break the streak of winning state. So now we're hoping to start it back up again.
Oh, that's fantastic. Coach, can you talk to me about this team off the field? Obviously, they sound like a fun group. They won't show us any of that fun, but I understand. But is that what it makes what you get to do, Coach, special? The different groups, the different personalities. Yes, the wins are fantastic and all that kind of stuff, but this seems like another fun group of girls, and that's got to be a ton of fun for you as well, isn't it?
Yeah, they definitely make my job easier. I mean, we always have, you know, kids who are dedicated to the program, ready to work. But this group in particular, it has really been a great group that has helped the team cohesion with team bonding and, you know, taking it just serious enough to do well, but not taking things too seriously. So I really credit them for getting the team prepared for state and the attitudes that they help bring. They demonstrate what we want the younger kids to do. So they've been great leaders on and off the field. And I'm just really excited for tomorrow.
Absolutely. It is a championship match against Denver, 10 a.m. Is that what it is, ladies?
11:30. I think it's 11:30.
Okay. Sometime tomorrow morning. I don't have to deal with that kind of stuff now, though. So before I let you go, I always have some fun questions. So for the girls, is there a team food or a team meal, or when you guys have a win and you celebrate, what's that team food meal pig out session like, and where's it from and all that kind of stuff?
Team food?
Or like, what's your favorite food to eat? Like, where do you guys go after training to have a meal?
Where are we going?
Smoothie.
We've gone to,
I'd say probably Smoothie King.
yeah,
Yeah.
Smoothie King. We've been to Olive Garden. That's a good one.
Okay, I like it. Drew or either one, are you guys superstitious? Is this team superstitious?
Yes.
And if you
Yes,
are,
I'm-
oh no, here we go. What are some of the superstitions? What are the weirdest superstitions you guys have?
Okay, so if we were at home, like if it was during like in the season, in the morning, every game day, I have to go to the same coffee shop and get the same iced latte, and then I have to I go to school, and then when I get home, I have to have chicken nuggets with ketchup and mustard, and then I have to have an Alani before the game and 4 ibuprofens, and I have to have Maddie Toll braid my hair, and if she doesn't, then we lose. That's happened every single time.
Oh wow!
And this year, Tatiana has to do something with my ponytail.
That's it. That's all the. That's just a few. Just a few. Drew, do you have any?
I have to wear the same red sweatshirt that I've worn the past 2 years, and the matching dunks with it, the red ones. They've definitely been beat up. And then I also have to wear my hair in a high ponytail with a braid and pre-wrap.
That's not much either. Coach, I don't know how you deal with these ladies. I'll tell you both. We had a couple of United Township track standouts on the other day, and theirs they wear the same underwear to every meet, and one was SpongeBob, and the other was Space Jam. So that was far from the weirdest thing we've heard on the show this week when it comes to superstitions.
So ours isn't too bad.
Yeah, that's good. Last one. If you were playing you guys probably both play different sports, but what's another sport that you would love to play and why? Maybe one that you don't already play. Drew, we'll go with you.
Honestly, if I've never done this sport, when I was younger I did, but if I was really good at gymnastics,
Oh, that's a good
I would
one.
I love watching the Olympics and Simone Biles,
Yeah.
and I think that's you see it and you're like, oh, I could definitely do that, and then it's you go out there and you can barely do a cartwheel. But
Yes.
I think that's such a flex. I don't know.
See, girls,
I would
that's.
say gymnastics.
Go ahead.
You go.
No, go ahead.
I would say gymnastics, or I don't know if this counts as a sport, but surfing would be really cool.
Oh, yeah.
There you
Or
go.
lacrosse, because I've never seen anyone do it. But
We
the
don't
St.
have it
Ambrose
around here,
kids,
yeah.
they have the field, but I've never seen or heard anything about it.
I like all those answers. You said that you would want to do something and couldn't do a cartwheel. That's me with every sport ever. I want to do it, and then I just can't do it very well. That's why I talk about them a lot. So, Coach, ladies, thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. Stay healthy, get rested, and go get a state championship tomorrow. How's that sound?
Oh, yeah.
Thank
Sounds
you.
great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies. That is the Assumption soccer team. They'll play for a state championship coming up tomorrow morning at 11, 11:30, noon, something like that. They'll play in the morning, and hopefully they do extremely well. We got more to get to. We'll be back right here on Off the Air on a Friday right here in the Quad Cities.
Hello, Dan Pearson here of FCA. Our team is thrilled to support Off the Air with our good friend Matt Randazzo. We share the view of the power of sport when it comes to relationships, including the influence of the coach. FCA believes the coach is the most influential person in America. Matt celebrates local coaches and athletes. His content is informational, insightful, and inspirational. Our Fellowship of Christian Athlete team loves partnering with Off the Air with Matt Randazzo while we engage, equip, and empower coaches and athletes in our 23 counties. FCA, the heart and soul in sports.
View from the West, the podcast covering Illinois high school football.
It's going to be a hard-hitting game. It's going to be great football.
Weekly analysis and reaction from around the western side of the state of Illinois.
This is the game we had circled when the year started.
Follow along on YouTube and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's big-time football out there tonight, and I know we can play big-time football.
View from the West. We got you covered.
Are you looking for the Quad City's best chips and salsa? There's only one dude to turn to.
Right on.
Snoop. Hand-cut chips, fried fresh with that crunch you've come to love. And the most addicting salsa with delicious fresh ingredients each and every time. Pick up your chips and salsa, queso, enchiladas, and much more at the Stern Center in Rock Island. To place your order, simply call the man himself. It's Snoop at 309-314-8197 and find out for yourself what the rest of the Quad Cities already loves.
Hey guys, this is former Hawkeye Jake Gervais inviting you to the 5th annual Rally for Reed football camp.
Go, run, run, run.
This year's 5th annual Rally for Reed football camp will take place on Friday, June 27th at Jack and Pat Bush Stadium at Davenport Assumption High School. Come learn the game of football from several familiar faces.
1, 2, 3, go, Taco!
All while honoring the life and legacy of Reed Gleason and also raising money for the Rally for Reed Foundation and the continued fight against pediatric cancer. There will also be a spirit camp the same day hosted at St. Ambrose University. To sign up or get involved, check out rallyforreed.org and make a donation or sign up for the camp. Thanks.
Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. We want to thank the Assumption girls for stopping by on their day off, their day between a semifinal and a state championship matchup in Des Moines. We wish them the best of luck. Again, they take on Denver. I love listening to the superstitions of some of the athletes. Of course, none better than earlier this week when the UT boys had to wear the same underwear when they compete, and one was a SpongeBob and one was Space Jam. So, but a lot of fun with them. So we wish them the best of luck coming up tomorrow as well. Well, tomorrow is a big day for girls soccer in Iowa. It's also a big day for wrestling as well. So without further ado, we bring in our wrestling expert and good friend and Brock Lesnar hat wearing.
Yes.
Don Umland.
Yes, sir.
And your shirt says
Wrestling is real.
That's fantastic. It is, isn't it?
It's real life soap opera.
Yeah, it is. And look, you just look like you're either. I know it's so. We got to talk about that. It is National Donut Day.
Mm-hmm.
So you brought me donuts. Where are these from?
Casey's.
Casey's has got really good donuts.
Mm-hmm.
So
I must have stock in Casey's because I go buy it every damn day.
Do you buy donuts?
Wait, I'm a well-rounded individual. What do you think? Come on.
Okay. Best donuts.
Ooh.
Since it's National Donuts Day,
Ooh.
We'll do this. Do you have 3?
Well, I clearly like donut flavor or donut place.
What do you mean donut flavor? Donuts have flavors.
No, but there's I love Dunkin' Donuts.
Huh?
I like Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, well the place. Where's the best place to get donuts?
It's hard to argue against Dunkin'. They have such a good variety.
Casey's are good.
The Casey's are good. Actually, Hy-Vee's are really good. I found that they're a little bigger and have more chocolate on top. At least my one out in Eldridge.
Have you had Donuts and More? I don't know if they're still open. They are, but I don't know where. I think they moved. They used to be down the street from WQD.
Yeah, but I haven't been. I don't know.
Those are good. And then also Hertz Donuts. See, I think they get carried away because they're not really donuts.
I don't need that much excess.
Yeah, like if it's they'll have like a Cookie Monster one or whatever. It's just cookies on top of a donut. You're using the donut to carry whatever you want.
Yeah.
I just like a simple donut. Do you have a favorite, like glazed, cake, chocolate?
Ooh, I do like a good buttermilk. Maybe that's the old school in me.
The best was he comes in and he goes, I gotta be out of here by 11:30. I gotta go work out.
I gotta go work out.
As you're hammering a donut.
I'm gonna burn it off.
There you
why
go.
it's just one.
There you go. Before we get into wrestling, and for people watching, God bless you if you are. This is a wrestling segment. If you don't like wrestling, it's okay. But we're going to talk wrestling and Money in the Bank coming up this week. The funny thing is, Don, we've done these segments.
Yeah.
And people watch them.
I know. It's hard to believe.
Not just for you and me.
Well, there is some entertainment value here.
Yeah. Usually you come in dancing and jumping, all that kind of stuff.
I'm a little more.
So Money in the Bank is this week. We're going to talk about it in a second. But you just got back from, was it Cleveland?
Yeah.
For the Division III National Tournament. You are the D3 national coordinator
of umpires.
Of umpires.
Yeah. It's
Does that
basically
mean you're the blindest guy? Is that how they picked it?
Yeah,
or?
I have a cane to get around the stadium.
In all honesty, like that's a really cool thing to do. First off, and secondly, that's a lot to put together. Everything went well, I'm assuming.
It was fantastic. This is my 11th year. George Drucius, who most people won't know him, but he's the guy that's in Omaha doing this. He's been doing it since 15. He was my boss when I did it in 05, and then he stepped up in 15, and I've been in the position ever since then.
That's awesome. Who won this year?
UW Whitewater rolled through it.
And they won pretty easily, didn't they?
They smoked the team in the finals. They ran out of pitching. Messiah had a great run. They're out of Pennsylvania. But ironically, Whitewater had to go to IF games in both their regional and super to make it to nationals, which just goes to show how good the baseball is around the area.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I give you a lot of crap for a lot of stuff, but that's a cool, very cool thing. I feel like texting one of my kids. Did you give my kids donuts?
They already got them. I
feel like texting. I'm gonna text one of them and tell them to bring us up a couple bottles of water because I need it. But Money in the Bank is this week.
Yeah.
It's tomorrow night, 6 Central.
Yes.
Because it's out west.
Yeah, it's 7 Eastern, 6 Central.
Before, I know people who are watching know wrestling, but explain the Money in the Bank concept.
In a nutshell, there's a contract hanging above the ring that 6 competitors who have won qualifying matches to be in the match are attempting to climb the ladder, retrieve the briefcase, which has a contract that's good for a year to be cashed in at any time against any opponent. Now, usually they'll probably cash it in on somebody on their show that they're on, but they could do it against anybody, and that's the concept.
I love the concept of it. It makes it, and it's a ladder match, which is awesome because they suspend
you have to have a ladder to get to the contract.
Okay, so let's start with there's only 4 matches.
This is by far the least.
That's it, and I think it's weird because I think the company right now has an embarrassment of riches when it comes to talent. So I'm surprised there's a PLE that only has 4 matches. With that being said, when you have 2 matches with 12, superstars,
right,
then you kind of. But are you surprised that there's only 4 matches?
Compared to the AAA, a few years back, I mean, we had 6, 8, 10 matches there, and then last year there were 7. Now, we could get a surprise on SmackDown, an added match. We could get a surprise during the event and have an added match. We just don't know about it. So, and Triple H has been kind of, you watch the things in his era, he kind of promotes longer matches. We're not getting the quick, in and out. So those 2 main events are going to, the MIBTs are going to go 45 minutes probably.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Rumble. But even the Rumble had 5 matches at it, didn't it?
Yeah.
So that's what I was kind of surprised about is that so it leaves the door open in my mind for something fun to happen or something crazy to happen. Plus, I'll say this too. I think they're doing a better job of not just jamming everything into a PLE. And you're getting this week on Monday Night Raw, you're getting Jay and Gunther for the championship.
Right.
You're getting Saturday night's main events. You're getting cool tag matches on SmackDown.
Yeah.
The table, ladders, and chairs match a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's a PLE quality event, a quality match, and you're getting it on a Friday night. So I think they're doing a better job of spreading some things out so you don't have to watch only the PLEs.
Well, this can be this can be a big moment for selected wrestlers because it's their moment. Though some have had downward spirals afterwards. Otis, he didn't exactly go anywhere. Mr. Kennedy, Damian Sandow, you think about people in the past, but, big ups. Liv Morgan took it and exploded. CM Punk took it and exploded. Seth Rollins, one of the greatest cash-ins ever. So it has its dynamics to take people in different tracks.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, so for the men's, we're going to get picks and all that kind of stuff. So the men's,
you want to
Money
talk
in the Bank.
the one to talk the MIBTs or the other matches of the night?
You tell me.
Let's talk the other matches and build up.
So we'll start with the one that I'm not that interested in.
Okay.
And that's Becky versus Lyra
Valkyria. That might be it's going to be a banger match. I
just don't care.
Let me say something about this. I never was a big Lyra fan at first. I was just like, But I got to give her credit. She's got pretty good mic skills, and she's made that IC title seem relevant with her heat with Becky because there is history. But I don't think Lyra's... What gives the most credibility to that IC title? Becky winning.
Yeah.
But they've brought great heat to each other.
It's the beauty of wrestling because I completely disagree.
Yeah.
I don't think she's good on the microphone. I think she's trying her hardest and probably getting better at it, but just not comfortable there yet.
Right.
And I
Fair.
think the matches are pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
I do think what was the last... I think it's the point where, if you just give it to... If Lyra wins again, what was the point?
Right.
So,
what's all the build-up now? You got to have Becky win this.
Yep, I would agree with that. I just don't... I'm not... It's just they're trying to force it in my mind. I think it'll be fine. And you know what? I'll maybe on Saturday night I'll get done and I'll say, that actually stole the show.
Well, remember they put a stipulation on another reason Becky's going to win. If she loses, she can't challenge for the IC title well, okay. We take that off the table with Becky winning.
Yeah. And then there's the raising of the hand if Becky wins. And yeah, I kind of not overly excited about it, but I think that's the second match of the night.
Probably.
Okay, so the other match that's not a Money in the Bank is
the tag men's match.
tag match. Okay, so what it is, it's Cena and Logan Paul versus
Jay and Cody.
Mm-hmm. It feels thrown together to me. It feels AEW-ish to me.
You would do that.
I mean, it does. It feels like it's just they didn't really knew exactly what they wanted to do. So they have superstars that make sense, and they did it.
Here's what I think it does, Matt. I think it builds some storylines. Because let's say, if Cody wins, is he going to demand a rematch with Cena? Because that's going to be his motivation to be there.
But you can't do that yet.
I know that, but it builds a storyline, like credibility, like, hey, I'm coming for you, and this is just another reason for me to get it. Also, Jay's going to get beat up in this match severely. And you know what Gunther said? You've tried to put yourself here to help here, and now you're doing this. He's going to be very susceptible on Monday night when Gunther and him go at it.
You have to remember that there are two champions in this match, and there could be a Money in the Bank involved.
True.
Depending on how they stack the show. Does this have to be the main event? Is that the main event? Or is it the money? I can see them doing Money in the Bank, then Lyra and Becky, then another Money in the Bank in order to set up a cash in at the end. Both of your champions are going to be in a... And not that anybody's going to cash in against Cena, but let's say Seth comes running down. And which champion is he going to cash it in with?
Yeah.
They both could be sitting there. They both could be laid out.
Which will get us to the point of who we think is going to win it. But yes, you could have that logical storyline. I think at the end of the night, Cena and Logan are going to win.
What do you think of where are you with Cena right now? I'll tell you this: the heel turn was cool. It was a good moment, and then I thought it was clunky for the next couple weeks. And now I'm into it. Now I like it. Now I like the no. It gets dark. The music's the same, but there's no like pomp and circumstance when it comes to his entrance. I like where he's going with it.
It's very cold.
Yeah, I think he's finally. But at the beginning, it felt clunky, didn't it?
Yeah.
And I wanted him to be like corporate Cena. I wanted him to be coming out there in like a suit and a movie star, and hey, this is what I am, and that's what I thought they would do. But they didn't have. I thought Rock would be attached to it, and the Rock hasn't been attached to it all, which is weird. And do we see that reintroduced before SummerSlam, or before the end of this entire thing?
Yes, I think
to.
Yes, I think you can't just write it and then expect people to forget about it. There's the relationship that was forged that has to be the underlying current.
Sure,
I do agree with you. Cena's wrestling has never been the best, when he's in ring, but now that it's gotten a little more heelish, it's got some teeth to it. So I think, nice. They could deliver.
Right. There's one good thing about summer is that the kids can bring me up water in the middle of the...
There is access. Yes, that's true. I won't do a Triple H with this. So.
No, please don't.
Not on studio.
Please don't.
I do think that it's gotten some meat on the bone now that we're like invested in. Okay, how is this going to play out? Who's going to turn? Who's going to cash in? who's going to cash in on him,
Yeah.
which we'll get to. So
Okay, let's get to these Money in the Bank matches. Let's go ladies first.
Ladies first.
And I think it's the most intriguing one. And you're going to have, I'm going to write them down as I go.
Oh, I think the women's is the one I'm looking forward to.
So you have Rhea, you have Liv.
Yep.
You have
Alexa. You have Naomi. You have Julia and Roxanne Perez. And I think you can make a case for all of them, though I think I have my sentiments.
Okay, well, give me those sentiments.
I don't think. Well, let's start with this. The obvious choice, kind of like the men, is
Mommy in the Bank.
Right. She doesn't need it. She doesn't need this to be in the title picture.
I totally get that, but like, and I have people say like Rhea doesn't need a championship to be relevant. But if you're the best wrestler, shouldn't you be involved in the championship stuff and have a belt?
I agree, but does she need the MITB to get there?
Maybe not, but like it may be if she doesn't win, it punts it down later
to another major pay-per-view.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that. I do like the concept of Mommy in the Bank. I think it's funny. I think it's
certainly sell stuff because she'd have her own personal Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah.
I mean, they make money.
Yeah, no, so I think that makes sense. I think she's possible, but we'll talk about
others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I eliminate Liv just because she's not going to win it 2 straight years.
Probably so.
So I think that as well. And Alexa isn't ready.
There's no storyline. I mean,
Yeah.
they need something for it. This ain't it. There's nothing to build to it.
When it comes to Liv, I think Roxanne Perez can win it.
If there's a sleeper, I actually have two sleepers. I have two theories. What a great storyline they can do with the whole Judgment Day. I mean, Finn Balor might come down with her when she cashes in.
Yeah.
Hell, maybe even Dom does.
But I think that's why neither one wins, is because one screws over the other, and then that gives more friction to what's going on with the Judgment Day type of stuff. Are we going to see Dom go to his third girl and God bless him if he is.
He's a ladies' man.
God bless him if he is. Somebody put something on social media, all three of them, and said like, this is Dom's 2024, 2025 or whatever.
I saw
and
that.
It's just like, man, good for you.
Yep.
Okay, so I don't think Liv, and I think Liv and Roxanne cancel each other out. I think that's how they develop that storyline. Maybe it's Roxanne and Liv coming up at SummerSlam.
One screws the other over or something. I agree.
I am not as big of an Alexa Bliss fan as others who watch wrestling with us.
She could be a future Hall of Famer at some point. We don't know. I mean, she had some great TV. It's just, I think WWE is waiting for something to put her in, and this isn't it yet.
Yeah, and I think they're toying with, is she with the Wyatt Six, which doesn't do anything for me, unfortunately, because I was really excited for it.
Yep.
And I loved Bray Wyatt. But whether they're going to go in that direction, and I think that was the best Alexa. I'll have others, including my brother, that liked Alexa from the jump. Yeah. Alexa was fine for me, but when she was the demented Alexa,
great storytelling.
Yeah, I thought it was the best stuff, and I don't think you can do that with her yet.
Right.
So I think she is. She's kind of just sitting in limbo, trying to figure out what's going on. So you said, was it you or Tom that said that like Naomi intrigues you?
Well, wait a minute. We didn't write one down. Did we write Stephanie Vacour down?
Yeah, you said Julia, but yeah,
well, Julia's in it too.
No, she's not.
Yeah, it's Ripley, Bliss, Naomi, Julia.
No.
Perez and Vacour.
You just said 7. Rhea, Liv, Alexa, Naomi, Vacour, and Roxanne Perez. That's 6.
That's 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well,
Rhea.
Yep.
Liv.
Yep.
3 is Alexa. 4 is Naomi.
Liv's not in it. That's why.
Liv's not in it?
No, it's Stephanie Vacour.
Okay. All right. I'm going to trust you. You're my wrestling expert.
Yeah, Liv's not in it.
Okay.
That's why this makes it more intriguing if Roxanne Perez wins it. My bad.
No, that makes sense.
Now Vacour's they've said they put a jetpack on her since she came up from the NXT. I just don't know where she'd go if she has it. You know, it's kind of a feel-good thing, but who does does she need it? Because she's winning and winning.
But you got to remember, it's not just an automatic world championship match. She can go use it with anything.
I agree.
So,
yeah.
Okay, so who do you got winning it?
I think Naomi.
No, why?
Because she's in this rivalry with the threesome, the best friends, and that would give her a 1-up.
But where does she go? That's the rivalry. That's the next story. That's where they're going with it. She would have to leave that and go. And
she
who
could challenge Jade or any of those. It might be the future champion.
I'm going to go with Roxanne Perez.
It's either one of those two. I think Naomi's my sleeper. I think Roxanne makes the best storytelling.
I think it's Roxanne Perez.
I'd be okay with that.
And I think it's going to be a fantastic match. And I'm going to go as far as saying is I don't care if Rhea wins it. Awesome.
That's fine.
That's one thing she hasn't done, has she?
No, she's not. Not unlike Seth, she has. I don't think she's won it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that she can do. That would be interesting to see and all that kind of stuff as well. Okay. So the men's one. Let's get who's in it first. This is the show prep that you need to do.
Yeah, I got it here. I made my
So
notes.
it's Seth.
Okay, so here it is.
Solo.
Andrade, Penta, El Grande Americano, and Solo. And then that leaves Rollins and L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's your 6.
Okay. Here's my problem.
Lay it on me.
And you know I'm a WWE guy, and I usually complain about your stuff at AEW.
Yeah.
Of all, you have 6 spots for a Money in the Bank, and these are the 6 you came up with.
Mm-hmm.
It's not star-studded.
No.
Our good friend Tom Kickert will tell you. I can tell you right now who's going to win it. It's as obvious as can be.
Please tell me.
Seth.
He doesn't need it. There's one guy in there that needs this. Needs it.
Okay.
Otherwise, his career is dead in the water.
It's not Andrade.
No.
Okay.
Come on.
It's not Penta.
No.
It's not. Is it LA Knight?
Yeah. Yeah.
But hasn't he won it? No, he was gonna 1 year. Everyone thought he was gonna a couple years ago, and he
didn't win it. I mean, he's sitting right here. Imagine imagine this scenario. He wins it. Cody puts the dream finisher on Cena and pins him. Now, he may not have it for that long, but if anybody needs a kick in the ass right now for his career, it's LA Knight.
I agree with a lot of what you said, but I don't know where he goes with it.
He doesn't have to keep it forever. He's not going to go take it off Jay because that just make him look awful. It's Cena.
I could see him getting it and keeping it for after Cena goes away. Keeping it for a while.
He could. Yeah, because it's good for a year. And Cena's gone. You're right.
Get Cena done and out of the way, and he's gone off.
Or Cody hits a finisher, and that just enhances at some point Cody and Cena have their...
Here's what I don't want to have happen. LA Knight winning it and then trying to go after the U.S. title.
No. It's got to be a world title, because absolutely.
But they've done that before. They've used it...
One time it was done where he went...
Theory.
Yes.
Which was awful.
The women who have had it have cashed in every time with success. The men, it's about 75%.
Okay, so women's, I have Roxanne. You changed because I convinced you to Roxanne.
I agree.
But you laughably said Naomi. In fact, I could see Naomi being one of the first people eliminated.
Okay, that's fair.
Do they do eliminated? They don't do eliminated.
Yeah. No, it's just
go
a
get
pin.
it. Yeah, but anyways.
Or climb, yeah.
I would put her as the last person I expect to win it. If I had to rank them.
She'd be the sleeper.
I would go Roxanne 1.
I agree.
Rhea 2.
Yep.
Valkyra 3.
Yep. And I don't think you need to go deeper than that. It's one of those 3.
Yeah.
You could mark the other ones, but it's those 3.
Well, you had Naomi. You said Naomi.
I said Naomi's the sleeper because I think there's a storyline to go with it. Yeah. But I also think, like we said with Roxanne, there's really good storylines.
All right, I'm going to go with Seth. I just think it's and I hate the obviousness of it, so I hope there's a turn or a twist or something like that.
There's multiple people that can screw him in this match to keep him from winning it. Punk.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of nefarious stuff that could go on around the ring. If there's ever a guy that needs his career elevated, isn't it LA Knight?
No, I completely... And that thing that stinks is it cannot be anybody else.
Those other 4...
it's not
they're good workers.
El Grande Americano would be hilarious.
Now, if you're going to pick a sleeper, and they have this big tie-in with AAA wrestling now, in this event coming
Yeah.
up. Could you imagine them being in the background like, okay, but if Chad Gable shows up, this contract's null and void.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't think. Now, I've read this. I've read that Triple H is not a big fan of Money in the Bank.
That seems, if what we're reading, that.
But
yes.
it hasn't been a great week for your boy.
No.
Trips is getting some feedback.
Yeah. I mean, but not everything's going to be roses. He's done.
You have to make tough decisions.
He's done pretty damn good in his time in the chair.
I do believe. Oh yeah, really good. I do believe that they got to figure something out with R-Truth. And isn't that he didn't get fired? It was that his contract is coming up and they're not going to renew it. And I think the whole point was they weren't going to renew it, and then they just signed him to a Legends contract, and he'd be just around doing the Legends stuff that he's kind of already doing already.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not like he's any big matches.
They didn't just go and shit can him,
but they did have. They have had him in relevant storylines lately. It wasn't too long ago that he was the tag champs with.
Miz.
With the Miz.
Well, I think this was his ride off into the sunset. Let's give him some moments. And they did.
I don't see Tony Khan throwing any money at him, do you? No. I mean, I do, because he's an idiot and he just likes to spend his dad's money.
No,
usually
it isn't going to be on him. No.
I can see him showing up in TNA or something like that.
Well, yeah, maybe. If he still wants to keep doing it. Or he might just be the goodwill guy with WWE.
You don't see Triple H listening to the fans and changing his mind, do you? He's done that.
Oh, no.
Well, they did it with the main event of WrestleMania. It wasn't going to be Cody, and then he got the fans spoke and he listened and he turned it into something. I just don't think the feedback's what it was. You had some we want truth chants and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think it's anything that's going to resonate.
I think one of the last times that Vince listened to the fans is when Dolph Ziggler cashed in on Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah.
The crowd wanted that.
Yeah.
And I think LA Knight is pretty over with the fans. So if he does have it, he can tease that pretty good.
So it either is it's Seth or LA Knight.
That's one or two. I think it's an.
And you're going with
LA Knight.
I'll go with Seth to be different. I do agree that if it has to be somebody, it has to be LA Knight. I just don't know how you get him into the title situation and picture right now.
So let me ask you one closing or near closing question. Do we get
wrapping my show up?
Well, sorry.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm guessing. Or do you think we get a cash in?
Oh, at Money in the Bank
tomorrow night on either one. I don't think in the women's.
So the two women's champions are.
They're not even on the show.
Yeah. Who are they?
Tiffy
and who?
Io.
Io.
Neither one of them are on the show, so I say absolutely not.
Oh, you don't own that one.
The men's.
And it does.
Cena and Jay are both in action. They're going to be around.
Yeah, no, I'll be intrigued to when they announce it and what order they put things in. Yes. I think it's going to be the women's. I think it's going to be Becky and Lyra. I think it's going to be they could go men's first.
They could.
I think they go men's first just to separate it away from the last match. So
if somebody wants to do something. Because Gunther and Jay are on Monday.
The only way it gets cashed in tomorrow night is if Seth Rollins wins.
And that's too quick. That's a waste of him having that.
And
unless
then what do you do?
And
what do you do for maybe tomorrow night? He cashes in. Maybe with Jay and Gunther tomorrow night.
It's possible.
I think, but I don't think. I'm going to say no. Nobody cashes in tonight.
Because Jay needs to keep the belt going into Gunther. I mean, that's just a good fit, and everybody's still on board with that. They've created some really good heat for that match. That's a Monday night match. That's a big timer.
Yeah. Yep. I can see them just having a slobber knocker, and then at the end, Seth's music hits. Seth comes down to cash in. When Seth's about ready to cash in, then you hear Punk's music.
You know who's coming.
And then Punk and Seth at SummerSlam. And then you still have Jay. Is Jay getting stale?
Not yet for me. I think it's probably reached the apex, but I wouldn't say it's stale.
It's not stale. I think it's not the apex anymore. It's starting to, and I think it's different. If we're in the crowd and we're eating and everything, I think it's fantastic. But I think people at home, especially was like one more time. I'm like, no, one more time. I don't need to see everybody eat again. Let's go.
I will say Gunther helps that a lot because Gunther is now chasing him.
Any surprises? Do we see anybody tomorrow night you don't expect?
Ooh.
I have no, I don't think I have one. Because of where she came in at. Mariah May, I thought might medal in, but she seems she's in NXT. I think it's a good spot for her.
I do too.
I think you go from one minor league to the other minor league. It's like going AA. Now she's in AAA, and then she can get to the majors.
I mean, it might be. I think I've heard her name might be Mariah April or Mariah June.
Oh, really?
June.
I wondered what it was going to be.
There's rumors of Mariah June. I think she's a good fit. I mean, the women, we know this. The women's at both levels are just stacked.
Yeah.
And just adding her in there, she'll be fine. She'll be good.
Yeah.
I mean, she kind of reminds me of a certain lady that's tall, blonde, and statuesque that's made a pretty good run in WWE.
Are you talking about Charlotte?
Yeah.
I wish Tom was here so he could add a sound effect, but I'm not going to do that. I'm a classier.
I think Mariah May's pretty good. And she's got good mic skills. I think she'll make some waves.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, I know we're wrapping up, but I said the Trick Williams thing and the whole tie over with them with another corporation and having that belt is really neat stuff.
It's intriguing. You know what? I just on social media this morning, and I'll ask you before we go.
Yeah.
We'll leave with this. And I know you're such a AEW mark, but is there any, it's not close, but do they have some momentum right now?
AEW?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a little, you're not a Hangman guy.
I hate Hangman. I don't like Will Ospreay. I did like him, but I think he's arrogant now.
I know you do.
The women's match between Toni Storm is a good.
They've built that up.
Toni Storm is a good.
Would you say?
I don't want to say novelty act because that's not what I mean.
But
she's a good side act. She's a good, but she's not. She shouldn't be your best wrestler in the women's side.
She's not. But you certainly
Who else is?
Well, I just want to say she's certainly original in what she's done.
I think she's brilliant with her character. She reminds me of someone like The Miz or R-Truth, even in a way. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, but like everything you throw at her, she finds a way to make it creative and fun.
Yeah,
and I think
we saw her spin back for a little while and then went back into her character. Now she's got the big showdown at All In.
Yeah, but it's not a big showdown because I don't care about Mercedes Moné.
I know, but a lot of people do.
A lot?
It's the best.
It's the best two they have
that they can promote for a big match.
And then it was, what was it? It's Kenny Omega versus his old school rival in New Japan,
Okada. I got you.
That doesn't do anything.
I know,
But I will say Triple H is taking some hits right now. Triple H is taking some heat, and it's gotten a little clunkier in WWE.
Yeah, but we'll get through this. They have one more PLE Night of Champions. That's where we could see something, and then we get the 2-night SummerSlam.
Oh man,
and
I can't wait.
We'll see how they build it up.
They're
always good at it.
I can't wait. So, well, Don, thanks for coming over and talking wrestling.
Of course.
I hope everybody who didn't listen enjoyed it. And you're coming over tomorrow for the PLE.
I'll be down.
Yeah, like my wife's out of town, so we're gonna have we're gonna grill out. The boys are excited, all that kind of stuff.
I'll have another shirt probably my LA Knight shirt tomorrow night. Yeah.
All right. So, Donnie, thanks. We appreciate it. And we appreciate you guys watching. Again, I talked all week like this was my 6-month show. I don't know if you knew this.
No.
I thought it was going to be because hold on. January 6th is when I started. So June 6th, I'm like 6 months. This is awesome. It's 5 months, John.
Oh, who's counting?
That's what Anger to say. I texted him and he's just like 5 months, 6 months, same thing. You shouldn't even be celebrating months. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the joke swap with Pat Anger. We want to thank the Assumption girls. Best of luck to them. See if they can bring home another state championship. And then, of course, this knucklehead wearing a Brock Lesnar hat sitting next to me. If you missed any of the shows this week, some really fun guests. Taylor Panel was on yesterday. Go check that out. Sydney Falter was on Tuesday. Go check that out as well. Tom Cornelis was sitting in that chair. Talk about a slippery slope. We went from Tom Cornelis in that chair yesterday to a guy wearing a wrestling
to
Israel
this
shirt.
guy. Yeah.
It can slide fast. So thank you guys so much for watching. We do appreciate it, and we thank you guys. But as always, we thank our fantastic sponsors who allow me to do this goofy little show each and every weekday right here in the Quad Cities. Guys, have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday morning with another edition of Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. We'll see you then.